Hey guys, welcome back to the channel with more Watchmen. This is Season 1, Episode 6, and last episode was focused largely on Looking Glass. We got a bit of his history, we got a bit of what he's like now, and yeah, he was very paranoid and understandably of the giant squid monster and what it could do to him, but it was revealed to him by the senator that it was all fake. It was Adrian Veidt. And yeah, at the end of the episode, it seemed like the 7th Cavalry was pulling up to murder him. And I kind of assumed that he was just gonna, that was a sign that he was just dead. Though I did get a comment or two saying that it seemed like a cliffhanger that we're gonna start off next episode with him, in the middle of this fight. But I kind of just assumed that was meant for it to show that he was gonna be dead. We'll see, I guess. And yeah, he had to bring Angela's involvement in this case of Judd's death to light to protect her because, yeah, Senator said that he needed her out of the way, otherwise he would just kill her. So, yeah, she took a bunch of nostalgia. I'm guessing we're going to get a lot of flashbacks this episode. But yeah, we're on the back half of this season, and I'm curious to see how they're going to wrap all of this stuff up. I'm guessing we'll see part of maybe Will's plan this episode. So yeah, very excited to continue. And if you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get started. Minutemen.
Justice. Jerry, how about you tell him what you think that noose is for?
Sex stuff. What do you want from me?
We want you to take
Sex
that
stuff.
fucking foot off so we can take. But we know what you do, and who you do. Captain Metropolis. Now, in that safe is a roll of film. Jerry, you want to tell him what's on that film?
Sex stuff.
Sex stuff.
That's right.
Say cheese.
Ooh. Jeez. This extraordinary being.
It was supposed to be for older folks, dementia treatment, and the company that made it had to stop. And do you know who owns that company? Lady True. Mm-hmm. You're about to turn into a vegetable.
Oh, man. Oh.
God damn it.
Get her medical attention. Wow.
And honor the badge.
How'd they shoot this? Now it's back to her? No, okay. I thought it would just keep switching back and forth between him and her.
Be safe out there.
Grandma?
I joined the force because of you. Sorry to hear that. Beware of the Cyclones.
And it's her again.
I'm big news.
You big something. But it ain't news. You are an angry, angry man, William Reeves. I'm not angry.
Oh, really?
That was a long time ago. I don't want to live in the past.
And that is why you are so goddamn angry.
Because we're here living in the past? Not much has changed? His past is more real to him than... It's not just... It's a metaphor for the... Okay, what's going through Angela's mind is kind of like all mixed together, but it's also a metaphor for how real his past is to him. It's in color while his present is just black and white. Wow.
You're under arrest. Oh, I seriously doubt that. This spook is accusing me of a horrendous
Jeez.
crime.
What'd you just call our fellow officer?
Nothing. Sorry.
Don't
if I-
apologize to me, you apologize to him. We got it from here?
Yeah, sure.
What is this?
Good work, Officer Reeves.
That means he doesn't get the credit either, right? But they've got his back.
Hey! Pardon me, officer.
Ugh. So they went behind his back and...
You let him go?
How about you come join us for a beer?
I appreciate it. I got an early shift tomorrow.
Another time.
Wow. If that's not some imagery. It's like mixing up his feelings in Angela's mind. Like it's showing her how he felt about all this. Oh, crap. Oh, wow. How did he survive? I feel so uncomfortable watching this, even though I know he survives.
You keep your black nose out of white folks' business, nigger. Next time, we won't cut you down.
Go. Oh. Hooded justice.
Thank you. My God, thank you. I'm angry.
Yeah. And it's her again. This episode is so well done. Are you kidding me?
He shows his badge. Townsfolk cheer.
We cheer for him, huh, townsfolk?
Why?
Tell me.
Oh.
To the Dreamland Theater. You sure you want to do this?
I'm sure.
This episode is too cool. He didn't bring a gun though. I probably would have brought a gun. Uh-oh. Oh, hello, everybody else in this. Oh boy.
I'm your husband, Calvin. We met in Vietnam. Now we live in Tulsa.
I believe a cop is feeding him intelligence about criminal activity. That cop is you. I'm sorry.
Is this strategic mastermind, Captain Metropolis, blonde about your height?
I don't understand what you're implying. Why fight alone when you could have true companionship?
Companionship? Was the gay thing not just the TV thing?
Overstayed my... Good evening, Mrs. Reeves.
So is he bisexual? No. Oh. No.
Yes.
I guess so.
Yes.
No. Yes. Yes.
Some of them aren't as tolerant.
Of him being black or him
Covered up.
being gay or bisexual?
And hood at all times.
Okay.
I wear mine, and you wear yours.
But she's still like experiencing this, right? As him.
I thought I was the only person still alive in the whole world.
Oh, she is that little girl.
My shadow and me. You know, I've been wondering,
Oh, that was a nice cut.
what good is the moonlight?
About time you showed up.
What happened here?
Same thing that always happens when you put a bunch of animals in the same cage. Go on in. We need someone who speaks their language.
What the heck?
There was a flicker. It told me I had to hurt people. And I think maybe I did that.
They manipulated
The Cyclops.
mesmerism. Oh, jeez.
The residents of Harlem caused riots all on their own.
No, this is real. It's some kind of mesmerism.
I'm sorry, William, but this sort of thing isn't really the Minutemen's cup of tea. I'm afraid you're going to have to solve black unrest all on your own.
Jeez Louise.
Oh, this.
Come on, let's go to the warehouse.
Does he not?
I'll give you my best cut to take home to the missus.
Does he not recognize him?
Though, do I know you? No offense, but you jigs start to blend together after a while.
Okay, for a second I was like, are those human bodies? And let's just kill all you guys.
Again. And again.
Ah, god damn it.
And again.
So I chaffed them, and I gaily laughed. So I smile and say,
Wait, he kept one as evidence?
"When a lovely
I guess.
flame."
His son. Oh, wow.
No. 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 Stop!
You need to hide under that hood because you can't stand to see what you become.
I'm still me.
Which me? You never should have done this. We need to go home to Tulsa.
No. I'm not going back there.
No, I'm talking about you, Will Reeves.
Oh, shh.
Keep pushing. We're gonna do everything I tell you to do. Understand?
I understand. I'm trying to fucking help you people. You don't know what's really happening here. You don't know me, old man.
I know you. You can hang yourself now.
Oh. Ugh.
Angry man.
Come on, Angela.
Tulsa, Will Reeves. You stay away from me and your son.
She does look like you.
I'm gonna take you home now, honey.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
Hi there.
Oh. This is not where I imagined her waking up.
Welcome back.
That's the end of the episode. Oh, that was so good. Are you kidding me? Oh. Okay, this show is a revelation, honestly. I've been thinking it's like really, really, really good, but oh man, that was incredible. Well, that was just really, really freaking good. Oh, this show keeps getting better and better, and like everything was just from the past few episodes, we're just tying together this episode. I mean, like this episode starts with the American hero story version of events, and like no one besides Captain Metropolis and his wife and kid ever knew that he was black, so they have that actor who I've actually seen in something else. But yeah, kudos to everybody who theorized that Will Reeves was Hooded Justice. I didn't reach that theory on my own. I read it in the comments before I figured it out for myself. But yeah, after seeing people theorize about it, I kind of expected it to be true. I did theorize in episode 2 that the baby Will saved during the Tulsa Massacre was Angela's grandmother, so yay. Got something right. But yeah, I was actually unsure just how much of that American hero story was true. It turns out Will was either bisexual or gay. Like, he was with his wife. I think he was wearing a wedding ring, but we don't actually see enough to know whether or not that was his marriage to his wife was him conforming to what society at the time expected of him. But the TV show got it right that he had no qualms about getting his hands dirty, even against other cops. Totally justified, by the way. But, oh man, I loved the way this episode played out. So, yeah, Will left the pills specifically because he wanted Angela to take them. Again, I don't think he thought she was going to take all of them at once, but, she kind of had to. But yeah, Laurie's trying to get her to sign the consent form so that they can treat her, while also trying to get the information about where Will is out of her, though, she knows. He's a Lady Trues. But yeah, as soon as she was unable to physically sign the letter, they were able to, they're allowed to save her life. But she drifts off into the memories of Will, and all of them kind of blended together, which makes sense since I'm sure you're only supposed to take, like they said, you're only supposed to take one at a time. And also you're not meant to take other people's nostalgia, which led to this constant switching between Angela and Will being in those flashbacks. And they did that so well because there's just so much symbolism. There's so many meanings behind. There's so many layers to this that I can't even fully wrap my head around it all. I'll try to get to some of it, but man, that was something else. But this show is just incredible. I know the original author of Watchmen doesn't like people working off his original work, but come on, this is a masterpiece. It puts twists on the source material in ways that are just so compelling, giving Hooded Justice a backstory, giving us the meaning of that noose, and then showing that the Minutemen were actually incredibly fallible, ignoring Hooded frickin' Justice because it was crimes against black people. I mean, that must have felt like an incredible betrayal. Yeah, and we start to understand more and more this episode what this entire show has been building to. Those flashback scenes we got in the first episode, that came back in this episode to tie everything together. The great grandmother of Angela, or Will's mother, who was playing the piano. And there was even the consistency with what happened in the first episode where she was crying and she was getting some of the keys wrong. I can't gush enough about this episode. It was amazing. But yeah, the little girl growing up, turning out to be his partner, and she understood his anger issues, try to work through it with him. And Will said that he doesn't want to live in the past, and she said that's why he's so angry. And I think she meant I'm not entirely sure, but I think she meant nothing has really changed despite the passing of decades, 2 decades at least. I was saying that his memories of the past are in color, so possibly they were more real to him than his present. That's why they shot some parts in black. They shot the present in black and white, and then they shot his past in color. So yeah, they were more the way I read that was that the past was more real to him than his present, and he doesn't want to live in the past, but he can't help it because he's constantly reminded of it because society has barely made any progress. And I'm trying to think if the choice of using black and white in the shot is also to denote a kind of black and white thinking on Will's part. I don't mean thinking about black people and white people, though that too, but black and white thinking in terms of seeing things in a binary and not seeing things are often complicated and are shades of gray. But I don't think so. But let me know if you guys can think of any way that works in to this story. But yeah, he brings that guy in for arson, which he was doing because the owner was Jewish. So yeah, ugh, wow. This story feels so real, and I thought the guy who wound up taking him in off of Reeves' hands, had his back, because like he made the guy apologize for calling him a spook, and I thought they were like protecting Will because they didn't want him to take the hit, take the blame, should it turn it into a media circus, because that guy seems like clearly had some power or something. But no, they were freaking duplicitous KKK members. My God. Oh, like so many things were just happening that I wasn't expecting. It was just like, oh, there were so many great moments this episode. And yeah, they kept trying to convince him to have a drink. And when they pull away, there are black people dragging behind them. I mean, jeez. I really hope like black people watching this don't get traumatized by this episode, because there was a lot of severe imagery of violence to black bodies, and oh man. Oh. But yeah, the mixing of those two memories in the nostalgia, I mean, okay. It feels like Angela saw those bodies dragging behind that police car because that's how Will thinks of it now. Like the nostalgia, that bit of nostalgia. I don't know. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? I can't even put it into words. It's like he has conflated those. Like obviously when he made the nostalgia, he had already experienced both events. He had seen the bodies dragging, and he had also seen the car driving away. But in his when those memories were finally taken down by that brain memory thing, whatever, he had already conflated those two images, those two memories. He was thinking of those white policemen as the same people who were dragging black bodies through the streets in Tulsa. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing, but yeah, that's mind-blowingly good, like just imagery and symbolism and just everything. And yeah, when those three white policemen attacked Will and brought him to the tree, for a second I had like a brain fart where I was like, wait, is one of those men Judd? Because it would be so much poetic justice for him to hang up Judd after Judd tried to hang him. Poetic hooded justice. But then I was just like, wait, Will is 105 and Judd was like 60, 70, so like, yeah, there was no possible way for that to happen. But I was just like, that would have been really, really poetic. But I mean, still, using the way he was almost murdered by Klan members to kill Judd, wow, that was powerful. But yeah, like, the character we're following switches back to Angela right after Will is let down from the hanging. And like, I'm actually very curious if she's like maybe in the sunken place seeing all this pass by in front of her. If you don't get that reference, it's Get Out. Watch that movie if you haven't. It's amazing. Though I have to imagine like most people have seen it by now. But yeah, I'm wondering if she's in the sunken place watching this all pass in front of her, or how deeply connected to Will does she feel in that moment? Like, does she actually feel his feelings, or is she just watching them from his perspective? Because the way they shot this episode, it felt like she was inside his body and just like experiencing it as much as he was, and feeling his feelings, which just, wow, that might change her. Like Will was saying last episode or the episode before, how he betrayed her and she's gonna find out. Like, does living through his experiences change her mind? Like, does she suddenly understand him and doesn't feel betrayed, despite knowing that Will murdered Judd? I don't even know. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm just speculating right now, but yeah, Will just winds up not even taking off the noose, just walking home, sees these two people being attacked. I thought it was multiple women being sexually assaulted, but it was a guy and a woman, and I guess they were going to sexually assault her and then kill them both. I don't know, but yeah. He puts the mask back on. He puts the hood on, and it becomes a mask. And yeah, he does that to save the people because he can't exact justice as a black man, which is just wow. And that's why he puts on the hood. That just it adds so much more meaning to hooded justice. I can't understand. I hope the original author of Watchmen just watches this and appreciates it. For some reason, like I don't know, but yeah. He wears that noose. How screwed up is it that he has to be not black to be an instrument of justice? And I really feel for Will. Like, I understand what he went through and the anger it can cause. Like, he very clearly needed a therapist too. But like, mental health is like still super stigmatized even now. So, and especially for POC, I don't know if you guys watch Hassan Minaj's show. He's the comedian. Used to be on the Daily Show. He said on the show that he told his father once when he was younger that he was like feeling down and sad, and his father told him to go pray. So yeah, and my own parents kept asking me if I was like certifiably insane when I went to therapy, which just what the heck. I went because I was depressed. Come on. And yeah, they still, even though I'm like fully like I've completed all my therapy, they still like joke about me like going on a murder spree, which is just they're people of color, and their understanding of mental health is just so like the older generations, it's still, there's so much stigma and it's so frustrating. And anyway, so Will, he thinks he finally found a group he can trust in the Minutemen, trust to have his back and dole out the kind of justice he's been craving for and that he can't accomplish alone. But they abandoned him in his biggest, most important moment. Like, he feels so alone in this world. He's constantly feeling like he's being betrayed. And that group was using mesmerism to get black people to attack each other, which is just such a great analogy for real life. Like, so much of the world is still stepping on black people, and there are very real problems caused by society, I'm going to say it, white people, that make black people look bad. And then there are people in our country who don't understand and just blame it on the nature of black people, which very super frustrating, but it is also so well written. What a great analogy. But yeah, all that anger from Will, I don't know how you go through that and not be angry, but I also understand Angela's grandmother like taking her son and getting away from Will. Like, as much as his anger is justified, it wasn't healthy for her and the son to live in that situation. The thing is, it probably only made Will angrier. Like, and he wound up using the mesmerism that the KKK was using to kill a 7th Cavalry member more than a half a century later. Just, this episode, just so many layers of, I can't even. Oh, and I also loved how the guy he arrested for arson didn't freaking recognize him later in the episode. Literally can't tell black people apart. Like, even though there were not a lot of black police officers, he somehow... What a dumbass, honestly. I'm also very glad, like, when he walked into the meat facility, I thought it was like black people hanging upside down, and I was like, okay, that would have been too much. I was so glad to see it was actually like actual meat and like of animals. Ugh, because that would have been, yeah, too much. And okay, so I mean, I totally buy that Lady True was able to somehow sneak Angela away from what I'm sure was very like tight police oversight, but I kind of want to see how she did it anyway, because yeah, Lady True is very interesting. And honestly, getting to see someone beat up KKK members was pretty fun. I'm sure all the white supremacists have stopped watching this show like ages ago, but man, would they be pissed if they saw this episode. Other details I liked about this episode: Angela's husband trying to bring her back by reminding her who she was is a very nice detail. But I have to imagine that going through everything as her grandfather, as Will, might be traumatic for her too. Like, just 2 episodes ago, I think, maybe 2, maybe 3, she was saying how she just wanted him to leave her the fuck alone. And in this episode, she's more in his mind and he's more in hers than she ever thought was possible. And like, how did that sex scene with Captain Metropolis work with her in her grandfather's body. Like, how does that affect her, like, psychologically? And then she becomes Will again when Will murdered Judd. So murdering her very close friend, who also was, he said it was his grandfather's cloak, but I don't know if I buy that. And murdering, like, being in Will's body as he murders Judd, that can be traumatic too. And yeah, I'm guessing Will and Lady True made another memory pill when he was, like, supposedly in Saigon Bakery, Hanoi Bakery, and, like, he went out for eggs. He said, I'm guessing that's when they made the pill of that memory of him killing Judd. Or yeah, because other than that, they didn't really have any free time. He didn't have any free time to make that drug. But yeah, I don't even know what the effect on her brain was or what she'll be going through the next episode. But I mean, I hope she'll be okay. She went through a lot this episode. But yeah, this has been one of the best episodes of TV I've seen, just, like, period. Like, it's incredible. But yeah, this show has been crescendoing for a while. I felt ever since episode 4 that it was just getting better and better and better. I felt like the first 3 episodes, actually, I think maybe from episode 3 even. I'm forgetting which episode it started where I felt like it was just getting better nonstop. And I hope this show keeps crescendoing till the very end. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my reaction. This commentary has been going for 17 minutes, and I probably, there is a lot more stuff I could talk about, but yeah, my mom needs to go to sleep and I can't be recording while she's, yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, because we're going to keep going with this. It's so much fun, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.